phone rang just as single dad Michael Bennett was leaving an important business meeting. Claire, his sister, screamed through the phone. "You need to come home right now." Michael frowned. "What's happened?" "It's that maid, Hannah. She's completely out of control. She's ruined the kitchen and dragged Ava, Liam, and Chloe into it. The entire place is covered in flour. Fire her immediately." Michael felt his temper rise. The triplets had been through enough already. Since the loss of their mother 1 year earlier, Ava, Liam, and Chloe had become distant and withdrawn. They barely spoke. They barely ate. Despite visits to world-renowned pediatricians and specialists, nothing seemed to help. The last thing they needed was a reckless maid causing chaos. "I'm on my way," Michael said sharply. 40 minutes later, he stormed through the front doors of the house. Claire met him in the hallway. "You won't believe what she's done," she complained. "The kitchen looks like a tornado hit it." Michael marched toward the kitchen, ready to dismiss Hannah on the spot. But the moment he entered, he froze. White flour covered the counters. Dough was scattered everywhere. The floor looked like a bakery explosion. Yet none of that was what caught his attention. It was the sound. Laughter. Ava, Liam, and Chloe were laughing. Michael couldn't remember the last time he'd heard that sound. The triplets stood beside Hannah at the kitchen island, wearing little aprons dusted with flour. Their faces glowed with happiness. Hannah smiled warmly. "That's perfect, Liam," she said. The boy grinned proudly. Ava giggled as she attempted to shape a cookie. Chloe carefully sprinkled sugar over a tray. For the first time in years, the children looked relaxed, peaceful, alive. Michael stood speechless. Hannah noticed him first. "Oh, Mr. Bennett," she said nervously. "I'm sorry about the mess. We were just—" "Daddy!" Ava suddenly shouted. The room fell silent. Michael blinked. Ava had spoken. Not a whisper, not a nod, an actual sentence. The little girl ran toward him and wrapped her arms around his waist. Michael felt tears sting his eyes. Claire looked equally shocked. "What?" she whispered. Hannah lowered her gaze. "I only asked if they wanted to help me bake," she said softly. Michael stared at his daughter, then at Liam and Chloe, who were smiling for the first time in months. And suddenly, firing Hannah became the last thing on his mind, because somehow, in a single afternoon, she had accomplished what years of expensive treatment never could. And Michael needed to know why. That evening, after the triplets had gone to bed happier than Michael had seen them in years, he found Hannah cleaning the kitchen. "You don't have to do that alone," he said. Hannah smiled gently. "I made the mess. It's only fair." Michael hesitated. "How did you do it?" Hannah looked confused. "Do what?" "Get through to my children." She was quiet for a moment, then she answered. "I listened." Michael frowned. "That's all." Hannah nodded. "When I first arrived, everyone talked at them. Doctors asked questions. Tutors gave instructions. Adults constantly tried to fix them." She paused. "But nobody sat beside them quietly and listened." Michael felt a knot form in his stomach. Hannah continued. "They told me they missed their mother." The single dad's heart sank. "They said everyone was always busy. Everyone wanted them to be happy again, but nobody wanted to talk about why they were sad." Michael looked away. For years, he had buried himself in work. He had convinced himself he was providing for them, but perhaps what they truly needed was their father. Hannah wasn't finished. "They don't need perfect solutions, Mr. Bennett," she said gently. "They need time, patience, and love." Those words hit harder than any business failure ever had. The next morning, Michael canceled every meeting. Instead, he made breakfast with Ava, Liam, and Chloe. The children were shocked, then delighted. Day after day, he spent more time with them. He listened. He played games. He read bedtime stories. Slowly, the triplets began opening up. The house grew warmer. Laughter returned. Months later, Michael sat in the garden watching Ava, Liam, and Chloe play. Hannah was nearby, helping them plant flowers. The children looked happier than ever. Michael walked over. "You changed this family," he told her. Hannah shook her head. "No, I simply reminded everyone what matters." Michael smiled, and he finally understood. The answer had never been found in expensive hospitals or famous specialists. It had been found in kindness, patience, and genuine human connection. From that day forward, Hannah remained part of the family. Ava, Liam, and Chloe thrived. Michael became the father they needed, and the house that once felt cold and empty became filled with love, laughter, and happiness once again. The end.